About time you showed up. We've been waiting for you. Our mission is simple. Sir Augustin will board the ox cart, and we must safeguard it from would-be assailants till it reaches its destination. See to it that none approach. The Queen Regent's supporters will come for Sir Augustin's head. Of this, we can be certain. Oh, a quiet day is a welcome one. Come along now. What was that sound? Who's there?
Hold a moment. I'll be handling Augustin's escort from here.
Foul brigand! We shan't allow Sir Augustin to fall prey to the likes of you!
There's no need for theatrics. I know your aim here. Ah, here's a surprise. We met at the tavern, remember? Fair warning, cuz this craven isn't worthy of your trust.
He speaks madness! Subdue him at once, ere he injures our noble charge!
Why, if 'tisn't Sir from the tavern. Now 2 parties are married.
You would betray me. Have you lost all sense?
You believe me then? That's a bit of a relief, actually. Thanks, cuz.
I shan't let you fight.
Curse you! All that planning and... for what?
Phew. I appreciate the confidence, cuz 'twas a welcome surprise. But I can't linger here, I'm afraid. My apologies for this. Follow after me, if you can. Succeed, and I'll share the truth of all of this.
The decision is yours, Arisen. I trust in your judgment.
That was well done. There's no one standing who might say otherwise.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes.
I would have preferred not to have to fight so soon, but at least I know I am up to the challenge. We must not let down our guard. I never would have expected to find a cave in a place like this. It is an exciting discovery, but we ought not to lose our heads.
Master! Master, can you hear me? Are you unharmed?
We meet again. Hoy there. I take it you lost your footing as well? You seem to have fared better than I did. I took the fall for Augustin, only to find myself waist-deep in monsters. Still, so long as he escaped, I'd wagered that makes this a job well done. Speaking of, I was to tell you the truth behind all of this, wasn't I? I'll be glad to oblige you, of course, but we ought to get moving first. What say I explain while we search for an exit? time to get to work. From what I've seen of your skills during that mess in the tavern and today's business, I can say you're really something. And my word ought to carry a fair bit of weight, considering my reputation as a warrior of unparalleled skill. Though of late, I've mostly been playing Escort to spineless nobles. Turns out, as a sellsword proves himself, the list of those who can afford his services grows shorter and comes to be written in finer ink. Makes for a duller life. Though I can't say I've any complaints about the weight of my pockets. Still, I hunger for a real battlefield, where a single misstep spells death. I crave the simplicity of it. There's naught else like it. The clashing of bodies and wills. I'd not say no to a fight with you. Let's have at it when I'm all healed up, eh? Mayhap, I'll not give you a choice in the matter. I'm not sure what's brought me here. I suppose I'll have a few drinks and hit the hay. That escort mission was a trap concocted entirely for your benefit, you know. It was supposed to give those responsible a means to incriminate you. But Augustin is no fool. He had his doubts about his summons to Vermin and hired me to watch over him in an unofficial capacity. So I looked into the cart that would be escorting him, and lo and behold, I found your name. But 'twasn't on the list of hired guards, oh no. Rather, your name was on the list of persons to be on guard for. In short, you had been called in to act the part of the culprit. Mark my words, if you'd carried on with them, Augustin would have been slain and you would have been held responsible. You'd not have stood a chance against all that if it hadn't been for me. Aye, methinks I've earned my pay this time, and then some. I protected my charge and got you away from the scene without your being branded a murderer and thrown in jail. Now all that remains is to escape this place. I expect we'll find a way out soon enough, if we only press on. Still, I've got to wonder where this craven plot came from, and what you did to warrant it. One thing's for certain, you must have powerful enemies in Vermin. But why? 'Tis not as though you're the Arisen True. What? You are the Arisen. Ha! 'Tis a small world indeed. You've piqued my interest even further, cuz I've no business here. Best I hit the road. Right, let's press on. Judging from the flow of air here, the exit can't be far. Well, this is a right awful place to be cut short. At least you made it out all right. Don't worry, cuz. I'll be fine on my own. After all, I can't afford to die here. We haven't had ourselves a real bout yet. We'll see each other again. You can count on that. And when we do, you'd best be ready for the fight of your life.
Miss Trisha mentioned that her father resides in the Czech.
Oh, Harmon. Picking a few.
Have you found any grimoires? Very well. Then your trial is complete, and I shall teach you my magic in time. Patience, my pupil. I merely wish to observe your skills a little longer. Well, well. Take caution in the practice of magic. I hope you're made of sterner stuff than that. You bear the talent for the acquisition of magics. One I would nurture by teaching you the culmination of my art. I do not do so lightly, for this technique is volatile in the extreme. But I trust that you will be able to control it.
Pray, follow me.
I fear my daughter must think ill of me, but that is a small price to pay, given the alternative.
'Tis this way.
Have you brought me a grimoire, sir? Thank you for all the grimoires, sir. Is that the last of them you'll be bringing? Then you have my gratitude for all you've done. Would that I had a reward for you. But I'm afraid I've little gold of my own. Oh, mayhap this will suffice. 'Tis a ring my father gave me. 'Tis only fitting, really, given he was the one who forbade my studies in the first place. Go on. 'Tis no cheap trinket. Now, I'd best take my leave of you. I've my studies to attend to.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
Trisha! Not again! What has been doing, Miss Trisha?
Our importance will like to cause her further harm. Her life is in your hands, Master. Pray see her to safety.
I will protect you.
We managed to avoid the worst by some miracle. I am grateful for your aid. You must come visit us again, once she has recovered.
'Twas a near thing, but Miss Trisha is saved. Let us look in on her again in the coming days to see how she fares.
Hoy! 'Twould seem I've you to thank for saving me as well as Gran. Who could have suspected things would happen as they did? 'Twas as though my very self was about to vanish. Gran said 'twas because the magic within me is many times greater than 'tis within other people. She's going to teach me how to control my magic so it won't happen again. I can hardly wait. Oh, that reminds me. Keep this a secret from Gran. But when my magic was all out of control, I learnt a sort of technique. I'll need to study hard if I'm to try it without exploding again.
Learning to shackle such immense power seems a monumental task for a child of her years.
This might surprise you, but I've already mastered a variety of magics. And since you've been so kind to me, I'd like to teach you a special one. Are you keen? always wanted to learn magic, but now I know not to underestimate the dangers it can pose. I'm going to devote myself to my studies till I've got my powers well under control.
Over here.
You've been good to me. To us. I'd wager 'tis about time I showed my gratitude. I mean to teach you one of my techniques. I've every faith you'll use it wisely. Take this. With my blessing. Ah, you've come. My thanks again for your aid in saving Trisha's life. Now, I have a question for you, and I beg you to answer it honestly. 'Twas you who helped Trisha acquire a grimoire, was it not? I shan't condemn you for it. You couldn't have known the dangers 'twould pose, and nor could Trisha. The fault lies with me for my reticence. You see, a similar deluge of magic to the one you witnessed consumed Trisha's mother, and she perished. Her father feared the same fate would befall his daughter, and bade me to keep her from dabbling in magic. But now that Trisha has awoken to the wellspring within her, I will need to teach her to control it. She will have her wish after all.
Follow me.
Trisha is proving to be a model pupil, and 'tis plain to see how delighted she is to be studying magic. I suppose the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
How goes it?
I always wanted to learn magic, but now I know not to underestimate the dangers it can pose.
We have reached our destination.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. Aught shall change once we have attended the coronation. If your Majesty has any unfinished business to attend to, 'tis best you do so afore we depart. Very well. The coronation is to take place on the morrow. We shall depart early in the morn, so your Majesty would do well to get a good night's rest.
Master, pray leave this place. My body, it refuses to obey me. There is a voice within my mind. It commands me, sways my very will.
Sways your will? Could it be that the gods sway? We must quit this place, your Majesty. I fear our plans may fall to naught. Let us return to the tavern. We've been had. The false sovereign commanded the pawns at the coronation, proving his own power as arisen. According to Regent King Sven, the pretender was wearing some sort of lavish necklace at the time. I imagine this artifact is the Godsway mentioned in that letter. Perchance 'tis a tool that grants power akin to that of the true arisen. 'Twould do much to explain the events that we have beheld afore now. Alas, unless we find some way to unmake this Godsway's power, proving your Majesty's legitimacy shall be difficult indeed. Pray, allow me time to search for a way forward. I shall inform your Majesty when I have prepared a plan of action.
Never could I have imagined such an outcome. What manner of artifact is this Godsway? I suppose 'tis pointless to ponder. Let us await the results of Captain Grant's investigation. Right you are.
Say, would you be willing to do me a favor? I thank you.
Shall we report this development to Captain Brant?
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your regarding the matter of the Godsway. I fear there is naught to be done, save for your majesty to venture to Batal, where you might uncover the false sovereign's secrets directly. The sigil upon that letter from some days past bore the crest of the Batali Palace. Surely this ought to be found therein, yet official dealings twixt Batal and Vermund are suspended. Passing through their fortress will prove a difficult task. With such hindrances in mind, I thought to prepare this. Pray, take it. Few may pass through Batal's fortress, save Beastren merchants. With some coin, I was able to convince one such merchant to grant us that entry permit. It ought guaranteed passage through the border checkpoint. But alas, 'tis intended for a Beastren. You shall have to act the part. But as to how that should be done, I'm shamed to say I do not know. 'Twill depend upon your majesty's ingenuity. You have my fullest confidence. Do not forget that we work to...
After breaking free of the chains of slavery that once bound you to this land, you return of your own volition. This is good. I am relieved to see that you are fulfilling your charge. Now, 'twould be advantageous for you and your pawn to visit the Rockmouser's burrow in Batal. Methinks 'tis where you will find that which you seek. Farewell.
I believe this is intended as a means of transport. It would be interesting to see where it might take us. I dare say there'd be no harm in using this.
What business have you here? Does that make you the Arisen? Be at ease. I bear you no ill will. My name is Manella, and I have the honor of serving as a go-between twixt Her Majesty and the Guard. Come, let me buy you a drink. We've much to discuss, and I don't fancy standing round all the while. Shall we make for the tavern?
We have arrived.
The people of Batal view pawns with great prejudice. They're even forbidden from setting foot in the capital. Her Majesty, Empress Nadinia, has long been troubled by this custom, but a practice so ancient isn't easily overturned. Many are unhappy about the existence of this tavern, even though it lies outside the capital, simply because it was established as a place for pawns to gather. I know not what manner of person you are, but if you would aid me in my efforts to make the people of Batal more accepting of pawns, I would be glad to offer you a residence permit. 'Tis a bargain more than fair, for those who hold such permits may remain in Batal without having their activities questioned. What say you? Glad I am to hear it. Take this then. Simply show it to one of the sentries and you'll be granted entry to the capital. Oh, and if you encounter any troubled Batali along the way, I bid you assist them. They are harsh in their persecution of the pawns, but were they to be aided by the targets of their ire, mayhap a few stubborn hearts would soften. A simple plan, I know, but 'tis the only one available, or so it seems to me. I bid you good fortune, Sir Arisen. Simply show it to one of the... They are harsh in their simple plan, I know, but...
Peruse at your leisure, sir.
All knowledge of this, God's way, stems from the forbidden magic research laboratory, which can be found here in Batal. However, you would do well to first travel to the Alta Batal coast and seek a man named Ambrosius. For as a researcher of this laboratory, he will doubtless be able to answer many of your questions.
I have a task that requires someone of your skill and discretion. Some days ago, a fiend attacked Empress Nadinya during her supplications. Her Majesty was unharmed, but the would-be assassin fled, gifting me a wounded arm in the process. He may seek to strike again, yet I fear I am not fit to guard the Empress as I am. And so I turn to you, Sir Arisen. Will you catch this villain in my stead? My deepest thanks. Her Majesty will next begin her supplications in Flamebearer Palace. I would use this opportunity to lure her assassin from the shadows. Empress Nadinya's life is in your hands, Sir Arisen. I trust you understand the gravity of this task.
We shall remain here.
Empress Nadinya's life is...
And who might?
Sir Arisen, you've come just in time. Sir Ermhild, 'tis my pleasure to present to you the good Arisen, come to aid us in apprehending the brigand who would threaten Her Majesty's life.
Well met. Your assistance is most welcome. Without our Empress to guide us, Batal has no future. Her Majesty cannot be allowed to come to harm.
Indeed. We are well glad of your aid. May it prove unnecessary. Ere Her Majesty's supplications begin, I shall give you a description of our target. Pray seize the rogue should you espy him. We would, however, prefer that this affair be kept quiet. Be not reckless in your decision, lest you apprehend the innocent. Empress Nadinya shall commence her prayers any moment now. I would ask that you safeguard her with your life, should it come to that.
O lambent flame, we offer thee these words of prayer on behalf of our people.
Who are ye supposed to be? Fie. Are they onto me? Ah, sod it!
Apprehend him at once! That man there is the assassin. Nicely done, Sir Arisen. Let us inform Sir Ermhild of what has transpired.
Oh, Your Majesty. Full glad am I to see you unharmed.
The brigand has been captured. The chaos of the past few days ought to be behind us now. We owe this outcome to you, Sir Arisen. You cannot know the depth of my gratitude.
Ah, yes, of course. Batal is in your debt, Sir Arisen. The same is true of you, Sir Manella. Your efforts were most admirable, considering your wound. Now that a measure of peace is returned to us, however, you ought to devote yourself to convalescence for a time. You may. The curative hot springs on Volcanic Island are said to be wondrous for healing. Go there to recuperate.
Very well, my lady. I shall leave presently, and return when I am fully recovered.
Grateful are we for your most valiant efforts, Sir Arisen.
The injury I sustained in Her Majesty's defense is healing steadily. Yet 'twill be some time before I am ready to leave. Though I am grateful for this opportunity to convalesce, I grow restless, as there is a matter I wish to investigate post-haste. I wish to know the identity of the villain who orchestrated the attempt on the Empress's life. The rogue you captured has been questioned at length, but last I heard has yet to reveal this information. Methinks you might fare better at breaking his silence.
I am confident we shall see this matter to a successful conclusion.
That's like to make me sick, it is. Still, there's not a swig of newt lick I can't fix, I always say. Bollocks, I'm all out. Boy there, come at a fine time, you have. Care for a rotten egg? 'Twas soft boiled right here in the hot spring. 'Tis mostly sand, won't kill you or naught. You're a bold one. Here you are. That's like to make me sick, it is. Still, there's not a swig of newt. Boy there, care for a rotten egg? Yep.
Greetings. I expect you must be weary from your travels, but you'll find this hot spring well worth the trip. Its healing waters draw upon the volcano's natural heat. Take a dip, and your fatigue shall melt away in moments. Always a pleasure.
Mayhap I'll come here to myself.
I've got to be somewhere to make some quick calls. No sense.
Few other places where could you find writing on deck?
This is simply delightful. I never want to leave.
Some of us get complacent. I train to find someone to run.
Whatever could you want from me?
How might I be of assistance?
'Tisn't easy doing what I do, I'll have you know. The warmth of the water really is divine. I should like my own master to have the pleasure of experiencing it.
A well-organized pack is my specialty. I'll see to it your burdens are shared between us pawns.
Well met, sir. How might I be of service?
The waters of the hot spring have left us fighting fit.
Materials, eh? I shan't deny, they have their uses.
This might contain useful information. Shall we take a closer look? We shall remain here.
What are ye doing here? Come to laugh at me, have ye? Suppose it must make ye feel a hero, seeing the man ye caught yourself sitting behind bars. But ye ain't fool enough to think the Empress is safe now I'm in here, are ye? Go on then, and don't come back. What's this? Come for a coin's a fine thing. Even in a place like this, it's got its uses. Reckon ye must be touched in the head, giving coin to a would-be murderer just to hear his story. Still, suppose I'm no longer a part of this, so I'll tell ye a little something, as thanks for your generosity, cuz. I got this job by way of the coral snakes. I only did as I was instructed. If you want to know who hired them in the first place, you're best off asking a snake. Lucky for ye, there's one right here in the jail.
Ugh. Ugh.
So, the brigand claims to have been employed by the coral snakes. Interesting. Whoever is truly behind this has covered their tracks well. But if Her Majesty is to be protected, we must flush the betrayer out at all costs. Might I beg a moment of your time, Sir Arisen? What I'm about to reveal is known only to a select few in all Batal. I trust you will be prudent. During his interrogation, the brigand let slip that another assassin would be sent to kill the Empress. In the name of caution, Her Majesty has taken up residence in a location known only to me. There she will remain till the danger has passed. My plan is thus. You will inform the coral snakes of the Empress's location. A false one, of course. Tell them that you have her in your custody. And that if they wish to confirm her identity, they must come to the empty abode south along Flamebearer Palace Road. It is my hope that this will lure the mastermind to the fore. For you.
Shall we seek some answers?
My plan is thus, and that if they wish to
If that is your destination, we cannot follow. But know that your return is eagerly awaited.
What do you want? You've got the Empress? This some kind of jape? Suppose the fact you're telling this to me means you're in the know. You one of us? Right then. I'll pass these tidings along to our interested party. Where should I tell them to find you? The empty house south of the Pilgrim's Path, is it? Fair enough. Fear not. I'll arrange for the interested party to meet you in the empty house, south of the Pilgrim's Path.
Sir Arisen, I take it you have given the coral snakes the information we discussed. Then the villain behind Her Majesty's assassination will doubtless be compelled to act with all due haste. And so must we. Let us begin our preparations presently.
I believe this is intended as... the means of transport. It would be interesting to see where it might take us.
I dare say there'd be no harm in using this. A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it?
Might I implore you to play the part of a bandit, Sir Arisen? As one of Her Majesty's champions, My face is like as not to be known to our villain. I have also employed the aid of a woman resembling Her Majesty in stature and build. She will fulfill the role of Empress during the exchange.
No, Manella. We must go ourselves.
Your Majesty, I don't think...
Should the ruse be discovered too soon, the renegade may flee and escape justice. We must confront them, so that our land and its people may ne'er endure such uncertainty again.
Understood. Then I shall guard your Majesty with my life. We must needs be ready for whate'er comes, Sir Arisen. Pray, tell me when you are prepared.
So, a bit of trickery is in order. Rest assured, Master, that we pawns shall be watching over you all the while.
I suspect the villain will approach under cover of night. Are your preparations concluded? I am glad to hear it, and not a moment too soon. We have received word that someone approaches our location. Find a way to loosen the villain's tongue. I shall remain hidden till the opportune moment presents itself. May all go as planned.
I am come. Would you kindly open the door? Let us not waste time. I am here to confirm the identity of your captive and naught else. Where might she be?
Mayhap this time you use your lantern, Master.
Indeed. 'Tis the Empress and none other. Fortunately for you. Had it been anyone else, your head would now be free of its shoulders. 'Tis by the coral snake's failure that she yet lives. I trust you are prepared to rectify this mistake. Go on. Kill her. That is far enough. You must forgive me. I suspected foul dealings from the moment I heard the Empress was being held here. However, with this display you have earned my trust. In truth, she cannot die here. We must have her meet her, and in a place more fitting. Tell me, do you know what it takes to inspire action in this world? Tragedy. Yes, tragedy. The emotion that floods forth in the wake of such events can change the world entire. Consider what a tragedy of singular measure, such as that of a great leader martyred for her ideals, could achieve. Why, the flames of revolution would burn eternal. A worthy funeral pyre for an empress, wouldn't you agree? And so Her Majesty's tragedy must be made a spectacle of, that all Batal might bear witness and shed tears of blood.
So this was your aim. It all becomes clear.
On your knees! We have you surrounded. Sir Armhild! So it was you!
Manella, this little ruse was your doing, I suppose. And as for your Majesty, I must say I am disappointed. You would go so far to save your own neck, rather than do what is best for the future of this country.
We understand what you desired to achieve. Yet we also believe that no ideal can truly be born from bloodshed. Perhaps you will ponder this in your solitude. By our authority as Empress, we hereby place you under arrest.
Sir Armhild's was a vile plot. I only hope she's the last villain seeking to advance her aims through murder.
We pity Armhild, but her ideals are not our own. We do not believe that Batal would be best served by a martyred empress. We pity Armhild.
I shall escort Sir Armhild to her cell. I cannot thank you enough for your aid in this matter, Sir Arisen.
That fool understands naught. Does she think she can exact change in this world through goodwill alone?